Today we are going to discuss about the addition of ramp signal. So we have three signals called R of t and then 2 into R of t minus 1 and then R of t minus 2. So all these three signals.
First of all, what is R of t? R of t is nothing but ramp signal. So R of t is defined as R of t is equal to t for t greater than or equal to 0 and then equal to 0 for t less than 0, and the signal is given by the increasing slope like this, where it will be going up to 0 to infinity, and then how the amplitude will be. At 1 the amplitude will be 1, and then at 2 the amplitude will be 2, at 3 the amplitude will be 3. It will be going on up to infinity, right? So it will be extended up to infinity. At 0 the amplitude will be 0. So this is nothing but my R of t. So how to get R of t minus 1? So the second signal is 2 R of t minus 1, where we have two operations. One is t minus 1, which means time shifting operation. Another one, the signal is multiplied by the amplitude 2. So we have amplitude scaling also. So first we have to draw your R of t minus 1. So take your R of t. So this is my R of t signal. This is my R of t signal. So take your R of t signal. Try to obtain your R of t minus 1. So equate. So to find your R of t minus 1, equate your t minus 1 equal to 0. So t is equal to 1. So we have to add 1 with all the values of t in R of t signal. So we will be getting 0 plus 1 now will become 1, and then 1 plus 1 will become 2, 2 plus 1 will become 3, 3 plus 1 will become 4, and then it will be going on up to infinity, and infinity plus 1 also will become infinity. So I will be getting your signal like this. So this is my value of t. So whatever I have at a 0 now will be shifted to 1. So what is the amplitude at a 0? My amplitude at a 0 is 0 for the original signal R of t. Now it will be shifted to the location t is equal to 1. And what is the amplitude at t is equal to 1? T is equal to 1, the amplitude is 1. Now it will be shifted to t is equal to 2. And what is the amplitude at 2? It is 2. Now it will be shifted to t is equal to 3. Okay. And then similarly the amplitude at 3 will be shifted to amplitude at 4. T is equal to 4. So this amplitude will be of 1, this will be of 2, this will be of 3. Okay. So I will be getting the signal like this, where at 2 my amplitude is 1, at 3 the amplitude is 2, at 4 my amplitude is 3. So it will be of shifted to one time space. Okay, so it is right shifted signal. So this is nothing but your R of t minus 1. Okay, so now by using this signal, and again I have to multiply the amplitude by 2. Okay, now I have to multiply my amplitude by 2. So just multiply your amplitude by 2 with all the values of amplitude here. Okay, so we have amplitude as 1, 2, 3. Okay, just multiply your amplitude by 2. So 1 into 2 will become 2, right? 2 into 2 will become 4, 3 into 2 will become 6, and now you can represent the whole signal as 2 into R of t minus 1. Okay, so how your original signal will be looking like? Let me draw here. Okay, this is my R of t minus 1. Okay, let me draw your R of t plus 2 into R of t minus 1. So 2 into R of t minus 1. So while seeing the signal, 1 should be multiplied by 2. So 1 should be multiplied by 2, and 2 should be multiplied by 2. 2 should be multiplied by 2. So I will be getting 4, and then 3 will be multiplied by 2, so I will be getting 6. Okay. So I will be getting at 1 amplitude is 0, 0 into 2 will be 0. So no problem, at 1 the amplitude will be of 0. Okay, so I will be getting 0 amplitude, and then at 2, 3 and then 4 it will be going on up to your infinity. Okay, at 2 now the amplitude has become 2, and then at 3 the amplitude has become 4. Okay, at 4 the amplitude has become 6 now. So I will be getting your signal like this. It will be going on up to infinity. So this is nothing but 2r of t minus 1. So amplitude also will go up to infinity. Time also will tends up to your infinity. So this value is 0. This is 2 into r of t minus 1. So while seeing your signal, what happens, how it looks like, right? So here for one duration, for 1 to 2, this is one duration. What about your amplitude? For one duration, amplitude has been increased for 2 times. Similarly, 2 to 3, for one duration, the amplitude has been increased from 2 to 4. So 2 times it has been increased. Similarly, 3 to 4, for one duration, the amplitude has been increased from 4 to 6, that is 2 amplitude it has increased. So generally when I have a signal for one duration, if my amplitude is 1, then I can represent it as t. Okay, but here for one duration, for example for 1 to 2, it has been increased to 2. It is not increased to 1, but instead it has increased to 2. So I can represent this signal as 2t. Okay, so I can represent this signal as 2t. And what is the amplitude at this location? At the starting the amplitude is 0. So 0 plus 2t will become 2t. What about 2 to 3? 2 to 3 also the amplitude has been increased for 2 times. So again this is also 2t, but where it is starting? For 2 to 3 duration, where it is starting? From 2 it is starting. So I can represent it as 2 plus 2t. Okay. Similarly, at 3 to 4, the amplitude increased from 4 to 6. So I can represent it as 2t. From where it is starting? It is starting from 4. So I can represent it as 4 plus 2t. So how your signal look like? For 1 to 2 time duration, for 1 to 2 the amplitude is 2t, and for 2 to 3 the amplitude is 2 plus 2t, and for 3 to 4 the amplitude is 4 plus 2t. So definitely what will be the next location? If I take 4 to 5, what happens? If I take 4 to 5, what will be my amplitude? It will be of 6 plus 2t, right? So it will be going on up to your infinite. There is no limit, right? So just we are taking only some 4 duration. Okay, so this is the value for 2 into r of t minus 1. And then coming to your third signal. Okay, r of t minus 2. So we have to draw your r of t minus 2. Coming to your third signal, r of t minus 2. So just we have to shift our signal by 2 times. So already we know this is my r of t, where at 1 I will have amplitude 1, at 2 I will have amplitude 2, at 3 I will have amplitude 3, it will be going on up to infinity. Okay. So r of t minus 2 means, as usual, substitute t minus 2 equal to 0, I will be getting t is equal to 2. So right shift your signal for 2 times. Okay. So I will be adding 0 plus 2, 0 plus 2 now will become 2, 1 plus 2 will become 3, 2 plus 2 will become 4, it will be going on up to your infinity. Okay, so I will be getting your signal like this, where at 2 the amplitude is 0, at 3 the amplitude is 1, at 4 the amplitude is 2, at 5 the amplitude is 3. Okay, this is my r of t minus 2, it will be going on up to infinity. Okay, so again taking some duration. What about your r of t minus 2? For t less than right? For t less than 2, the value is a 0 for t. And then for 2 to 3, how will you represent? What is the amplitude? Here for one duration the amplitude is increased by 1. Similarly for 3 to 4 the amplitude has been increased from 1 to 2. So as usual, how will you represent? Just t. For all the time duration we will be representing the amplitude as t, but again for each and everything where we are having the signal, right? So here it starts with 0 amplitude, so 0 plus t will become t, and then here the amplitude starts with 1, so I can write it as 1 plus t. Here the amplitude starts with 2, so I can write it as 2 plus t. I can write it as 2 plus t. Definitely my next duration will be of 3 plus t. So whenever I have increasing slope, just write t. If you have for one duration, one amplitude, it is t. From where it is starting, that amplitude also you have to consider, you have to add with the t. Okay. So this is my r of t minus 2. So finally I have to add all the 3 signals. Okay. So when I go for your original signal, so take your r of t. R of t also, what happens for r of t? For 0 to 1 it is t. For 1 to 2 it is 1 plus t. For 2 to 3 it is 2 plus t. For 3 to 4 it is 3 plus t. It will be going on up to your infinity. So just add all the 3 signals. Okay. Just draw all the 3 signals so that it will be easy for you. So it is 0 and then 1, 2 and then 3. For 1 it is 1, for 2 it is 2, for 3 it is 3. This is r of t, and how will you represent? This is t, this is 1 plus t, this is 2 plus t, and then this is 3 plus t, and so on. Okay, up to your infinity. What about your second signal? What about your second signal? Second signal is 2 into r of t minus 1. 2 into r of t minus 1. So you have to start with the 1, right? So 1, 2, 3 and 4, so on. Okay. What about your amplitude? So amplitude will be of 2t and 2 plus 2t, 4 plus 2t and so on. So this is 2t, this is 2 plus 2t, this is 4 plus 2t, this is 6 plus 2t and so on. Okay. And then what about your third signal? Third signal is r of t minus 2. So r of t minus 2. So how will you represent? This is t, this is 1 plus t, this is 2 plus t and so on. So add all the 3 signals. So what happens?
So we have 3 signals, r of t, 2 r of t minus 1, r of t minus 2. And then we have added
what and all the durations we have? 0 to 1, 0 to 1. What is the amplitude here? This is t in r of t. So represent that. And what is there at 0 to 1? It is 0. and then for r of t minus 2 it is again 0. What about 1 to 2? 1 to 2, here it is 1 plus t, here it is 2 plus t, here it is 0. So you have represented that. For 2 to 3 it is 2 plus t, and then here it is 2 plus 2t, and then here it is just t. So you have represented in the tabulation. And then for 3 to 4 it is 3 plus t, here it is 4 plus 2t, here it is 1 plus t. So anyway the signal will be continuing up to infinity, but it is not necessary to represent the signal for all the duration. Some 2, 3 or 4 duration you can take and represent the signal. For 0 to 1 what happens? We have to add these 3 signal. So what and all we have? T plus 0 plus 0. So t is nothing but just a ramp signal for 1 duration 1 amplitude. So just increase for 1 duration 1 amplitude, that's all. This is t. And then what about for 1 to 2 duration? 1 to 2 duration it is 1 plus t plus 2t plus 0, because we have to add all the 3 signal. So 1 plus t plus 2t is nothing but 1 plus 3t. 1 plus 3t plus 0 is again 1 plus 3t. So we have to start with the amplitude 1, we are at 1 only, and we have to increase for 3 amplitude. So for 1 to 2 we have to increase for 3 amplitude. We are at 1, so now we have to increase up to 4 because it is 3t. Okay, up to 4 we have to increase. Okay, so this is nothing but 1 plus 3t, because we are starting from 1, so we have to mention it as 1. And for 3 duration the amplitude for 1 duration of time t, that is 1 to 2, it has been increased to 3 amplitude. So 1 plus 3 will be of 4, up to 4 it will be increasing. And then what about 2 to 3 duration? 2 plus t plus 2 plus 2t plus t, add all the 3 values. So what happens? 4 plus we have 4t. Okay, because here also we have t, so we have 2 plus 2 is nothing but 4, t plus 2t plus t. What happens? It will be of 4t. So 4 plus 4t we have to do. Okay, so for 1 duration 4 times we have to increase. Okay, so up to 8 we will be increasing. Up to 8 we have to increase, because 4 plus 4t, we are starting from 4, that is nothing but 4. 4t means for 1 duration we have to increase for 4 amplitude values. So 4 plus 4 will be of 8. So we will be having the signal like this. Okay, this is nothing but 4 plus 4t. Okay, what about your third duration? So what about your first duration? This is t, next is 1 plus 3t, next is 4 plus 4t. What about your 3 to 4 slot? 3 to 4 slot. Okay, 3 to 4 slot is nothing but we have these values. So 3 plus 4 plus 1. So we have 8. So 8 plus again t plus 2t plus t is nothing but 4. 8 plus 4t we have to do. Okay, so for 3 to 4 again we have to represent up to 12. Okay, so up to 12. Suppose this is 11, this is 12, right? So we can use up to your 4 duration. So we have to start with 3 plus 4 plus 1 is nothing but 8. Okay, from 8 we have to start, and then for 4 duration we have to increase. So 8 plus 4 is nothing but 12. So up to 12 we have to increase. Okay, so this is nothing but x of t. This is nothing but your x of t, which is addition of your r of t plus 2 into r of t minus 1 plus r of t minus 2. And this will not end, this will be going on up to your infinity. Okay, so this is nothing but your addition of 3 ramp signal. So only thing you have to consider is for 1 duration, if it is increasing, suppose I have it is 0, this is 1. For 1 duration, if it is increasing from 1, then I have to represent it as 1 plus t, because if suppose the amplitude is 2, so it is increasing from 1 to 2. So 1 duration of time it is increasing for 1 amplitude, so I can represent it as 1 plus t. if suppose I have for 1 to 2, if suppose I am having your signal like this, okay. Suppose if it is 0 to 2 for one duration, if I have 2 amplitude, then I have to represent it as 2t, okay. Similarly for one duration, okay, suppose if my amplitude is 1, okay, I am starting from 1 to 4, okay, I am starting from 1 to 4. How will you represent? I am starting from 1. For one duration, the amplitude is increased from 1 to 4, so it is 1 plus 3t. So this is your basic information which you have to know. With this, you can draw your ramp signal properly, as well as you can add all the ramp signal and you can represent the original signal. Okay. Thank you, students.